Boy there. Whew. It's Friday. I'm training this hair to not be ridiculous, so don't mind that. But I'm in my comfies. I hope that you are too. And if you're not, don't worry. You can get comfy. Don't feel. It's Friday. Okay, let's be comfy. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit the like. It's free. Yeah. So usually I would be dolling up in like festwear or something a bit more wild, but it's Friday and whew, I need a break because sometimes the outfits they weigh on your tummy, at least for me, right? So what's up, tourists, nerds, freaks and geeks, and all that's in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame. Welcome to, or welcome back to, my channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. Don't forget, you can check me out on other socials like Twitch, DameDaisyPlays. TikTok is modmaggieart. Facebook is DameVonBonDaisy. I have to keep them all straight. Twitter and Snap is also modmaggieart. I tried to kind of make it all DameVonBonDaisy, but modmaggieart was my original artist name, so it was like, well, I want to keep that as well. So that's why we have a half and half of DameVonBonDaisy and modmaggieart. Also, I have a second channel. It used to be Dame Daisy Plays, but now it's Maggie Mayhem. So it might still show up as, it'll show up as Maggie Mayhem, but it was Dame Daisy Plays. So you have to search it that way. It's weird, but in time, we won't have to worry about it anymore. Recently, you guys know I've been working me buns off, creating like nobody's business. Also, thank you to my members. You're amazing. And give thanks or donate when able. Never pressured. Never worry about that, okay? Always do what's free. And welcome to your very own deprogramming session. But, okay, what was I going to say before that? Yeah, I've been working my butt off on festival stuff. I can't say it enough. It's festival season, and people are already sick of it. It's like when it's a month before my birthday, and I'm like, it's my birthday. And everybody's like, it's not your birthday. And I'm like, it's my birthday. Everybody's like, no, still not your birthday. For those who don't know, the king's birthday is like a month before mine. So as soon as his is done, it's like, it's my turn. Birthday is done. I'm going to show you a couple paintings real quick while people jump in and join us. I really, really appreciate you, and I appreciate you, spending time with us. Thank you, Wolf, for being here as well, and Kel, you guys are so, so amazing. I appreciate you very much. I've been missing you very much. I love this one. I'll get stuck twirling the paintings again. So, yeah, just painting over time. If you guys haven't checked out Wolf's art, do so, because it's really, really good. Subscribe, like, share, do all the things, you always got to help out another artist, because it's like artists are some of the only ones that are very understanding to, we got to tell others. I love this one too. This one's really good. And I wanted to make another one like this, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of like one and done. Like I want it to be authentic. I want it to be one, right? But I could do like something similar but different. Okay. Another big thing that I've been working on is these shirts. Oh my goodness. Woo! So look at how cool this one is. This one is a squid, and it's like it's gonna be like a robotic squid. And these are, yes, they are large in males tank tops. We don't call them, beard, but male tank tops. Yes, they're technically large in male tank tops, but after they are designed and drawn on. They've become unisex and for everybody. So don't worry if you're like, oh my goodness, I am not a large male. That's okay. Okay, as long as you are like large or anything below, it will fit you. Do not worry. And yeah, they look really good. This one is definitely one of my favorite designs so far. There's, I think for the shirts we're gonna do like a line of 20 total. And then for the jeans, it's probably going to be like a line of 6 total. And the jeans look really cool too. I should have brought those in. But I can show you the mushroom real quick too. Let's see the mushroom. Yeah, there's that. Woohoo! It glows in the dark. It's looking so good. I have the stuff for the bottom already, so I just have to like finish stapling that within the bottom and make the gills and such for it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the like. It's free. I appreciate you guys so much for spending that time with me when you can. Look how good that looks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be noticeable. I've been literally thinking of all these different ways, like how do I catch people's attention without overdoing it, but when am I not overdoing it, right? But I want to just like subtly have people be like, oh wow, like I want to look at their art, or oh wow, they caught my attention, right? So I mean, definitely the outfits will do that because they look so cool. But I think that the hats and stuff like that, that'll help. I do pretty well though at sticking out like a sore thumb, so shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. We're going to talk about things going on with the Crispr because even that's gone further. And you guys know if you've been here for a minute, and I know some of you who will be piling in haven't been here for a minute, but that's okay. We talk about all this kind of stuff. When it has to do with the Crispr, when it has to do with our DNA, our RNA, I'm on it. Like, ugh, it makes me, it gives me the ickies, right? It's one of the things that I've kept my eye on most. It's one of the things that I, in my heart, feel this should be one of our main concerns. You know, people are so concerned with so many different things, but I think that eugenics, you know, not something we want to strive for. Kind of the reason why things fell apart before. And I don't know, we're still speeding in that direction somehow, but alrighty. That's not all. Because we're also going to discuss like the Met Gala and things like that and circumstances going on with Jamie Foxx and The Rock. Did you hear about that? Oh my goodness, what is going on? So, as for the Met Gala, we know that it's obviously like meant to be, the theme is always meant to be a little bit controversial, so it catches people's, so it catches our eye, right? So we want to pay attention to it. But this year, I don't know about all this. We'll discuss that more. Apparently the theme was pretty rude, very offensive, and people are not a fan of this dude. He's not a fan of the body movement, and it just shows us where Hollywood and A-listers are at, because they make it so freaking obvious, right? And so the theme was this designer and his long-running buddy, his cat, Cashapp. I say it wrong, but what is it? Frank Lagerfeld? Let me double check. Yeah, okay. Lagerfeld. Carl. It's Carl. Carl. Nobody likes Carl. I was having fun with that yesterday. Poor Carl. Nobody likes Carl. Except for the people who went and, you know, they're like obligated to. They're like, my handler told me to be here. I have to walk down this carpet. Meow. Meow. You freaking weirdos. Yeah, but to each their own, right? Okay, and it's curious because, like, we know that, so Carl is the theme, right? How many times can I knock this over? That's the second time. Carl is the theme. Carl's not a very good guy. People don't very much like Carl, right? People were like, oh my gosh, how could you celebrate Carl? Although he was at the helm of Chanel apparently for like 3 decades, right? So I guess that's how they could celebrate Carl. And this is a problem that we see that occurs. I mean, you know what? Every neighbor is about to get on their freaking mower. Gosh darn it! I'm gonna run out my front door. Hey! Quiet down now! I should just open my window and yell. Like proper country! People. Hey, shut up! No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let me get back to it. Let us not have too much fun too early, okay? So it's an evening about Carl and his cat, okay? So you see people dressed up as cats. You see people dressed up as in fancy wear. And I guess this person did change fashion. Like, they did have very out there ideas for the time. And people were for it, people were against it, but obviously the ones that are for it are the ones that showed up. Kim K is like, please, please let me in the Met Gala. And they're like, Kim, we really don't want you here this year. It's not, you know, anything against you. And she's like, I will sell my children. I will sell my children for fame. And they're like, Kim, listen, you tried to sell your kids to us already. You cannot come to the Met Gala. You cannot sell us your children. And she's like, oh my God. Do you know how much? No, you know what? I'm going to stop. Those are Kanye, right? Kanye's kids. Come on. Aw. Awesome. So glad. Yeah. Thank you. I love that you have joined us. Thank you so, so much. I know Frank was streaming. Frank is the best. So it's a night for the cats, and it's a night for this Frank guy that nobody... Frank. Darn it. Carl. Everybody likes Frank. It's Carl that we don't like. Because Carl's, like, fat phobic, apparently. He's like, no fatties for me. And everybody's like, Daisy, calm down. He would love you. You're skinny. And I'm like, I know. Everyone loves me. That's a fact. But listen, he would have loved me anyways, regardless. It doesn't matter. But this Coral guy, he says, all the women these days, all they do is sit around on their couch. Oh, man, it just cracks me up every time. Sitting around on their couches eating nothing but chips. He's sitting around on their sofas eating nothing but chips. You know he's British, obviously. But, oh, wow. Dude, wow. The cojones on that skinny little man. That skinny little man, I could snap him like Twiggy. I could also likely be snapped like Twiggy. But at least I'm, you know, I'm not a branch that's about to break. I'm the branch that just bends like a mofo and snaps back up. Not the one that breaks, right? But this dude, no way. He looks like he never drank a glass of milk in his life. He looks like, you know, if he fell once, that would be it. He would let out a large womanly scream, which, you know, no, we all scream very high-pitched sometimes. I'm just saying. I just think it's funny, okay? Because he's, like, got a whole lot to say. And you guys know that the per-usuals were there. Like I said, Kim K, Doja Cat was dressed up as a cat, of course. Could you imagine if Doja went not as a cat? That would have been even more like, whoa, who saw that coming? Like, you know what I mean? So Doja Cat goes as a cat. Lil Nas X, of course, goes as a cat. And what does this make you think of? I will tell you. I will tell you what it makes me think of is this whole beta kitten thing, right? And first of all, he loves cat. Fine. You love cat. Great. Good for you. Meow, meow. Okay? I don't think so. I don't think that's how it is for all these people. I think some of them, that's what it is. It's the beta kitten thing. And for those of you who don't know what that is, don't worry. I will explain all those terrible, terrible, awful, disgusting things. Ugh. The heck is wrong with people? They make me so sick to my stomach. It's like y'all giving me midday indigestion. Nasty. So, yeah, and it's interesting because I think we can kind of blame this whole, like, beta kitten thing on the fact that, like, there's no awkward age anymore. Hi, thank you guys so much for joining me. Aw, I so appreciate that. Please hit the like, it really means a lot. It's free. So this beta kitten thing is basically hypersensualizing the youngers, right? Like Billie Eilish, the poor thing, like Bahabi, right? Like that one. They were not even 18 yet, and people had countdowns of them. Millie Bobby Brown, that poor, oh, they're so young. Those poor babies, just babies. And these sick, disturbed people have freaking countdowns to their 18th birthday. That's a messed up ish, y'all. People need to mow on their own time. You're all being really rude. Y'all really rude. How dare they interrupt my stream? You know? Like, yeah, it's a nice day out, whatever. Jeez, I'm kidding. It's my family. Calm down, y'all. It's literally my friends that are mowing, so it's okay. I'm just, like, being sassy. Perfect time to join me. Thank you so, so much for being here. Watch me cuss out my own fam. I'm just kidding. So, okay, we see about these beta kittens, right? This is when they take the youngers and they make them inappropriate, right? Who's one of the first ones? Madonna, of course, right? Or Britney Spears. Britney Spears was like the it girl for how many generations, right? a long time. They were like, she is all that is pure and holy, right? They were like, Britney is the end all be all, right? Just curious. But then they're like, but then they hyper sensualize them, and it's like, this feels very wrong, because it is very wrong, but it's very disturbing. It's very disgusting. It's like, I'm gonna throw up. So that's why they do this, though. They do that so that there's no awkward tween phase no more. There's no like, I've got zits and pimples and I have to figure out my style, and that takes a minute, and I'm not yet, not anymore a girl, but not yet a woman. There is that time in male, female, or whatever you want to, claim to be as. That's fine. Do your thing, whatever, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? There's still going to be that awkward phase in life where you're like, this is a coming of age kind of thing. But it's so inappropriate to like do what they do, not only in Hollywood, but it's just reinforced through the music industry. And it's so gross to me, honestly. It's so gross. It's so disturbing. Thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. I hope you're doing well today. You sure do look swell today. And I just really so appreciate your time, because I know your time is precious. And I just wanted to talk about these few things right quick. You know that I never want to keep you for too long, but I do love spending time with you. So yeah, these are some sick people. These are like some very sick people. They have some dark, devious, like, how do you say it, feral desires that are very disturbing and illegal, like illegal. And I'm not afraid to say it for what it is, okay? So we know that Doja shows up as Cat. Wow, big shocker. Lil Nas X shows up as Cat. And again, for those who missed it, we were talking about the Met Gala, how it's so symbolic and obvious, how it's very clear what they're doing. By the way, we're just going to peek at a couple paintings, so don't mind that. But yeah, there's Doja, there's Lil Nas X, and they're being, typical MK Ultra as ever. Like, it just, the more I learn about it, it is like Eyes Wide Shut. It is like they're having these sick, weird parties. Like, the whole part of the Met Gala is to have that costume party. This isn't a ball. This isn't, you know what I mean? There's a difference between a ball and a costume party. There's a difference between a royal event or something of our, of to that degree. Something that people with standards would go to, I guess, right? But these people, no. These are the lowest of low, all gathering together to poo-poo over who's the worst. Could you stay by the other yard? Do the other yard, please. The other yard. Go to the next yard. Our yard is so big. Why does it have to be by the window? Please. Okay, that's me willing them away from the window. But yeah, I just find it really curious. Ugh, it's weird. They're weird. It's a costume party. It isn't some royal ball or event or some classy attire. No. And you don't see hardly other, like, who else is being made a big deal of? That's what I should say. Who's being made a big deal of? Who is always made a big deal of? Those at the Met Gala events. I know, I love the smell of it though, so I shan't complain too much. Hi, thank you so much for joining me. You guys are so amazing. Yeah, these are creepers. So Karl Lagerfeld, okay? It was meant to be, that was the theme. Just like, by the way, last year was what? Gilded Glamour, which essentially is fool's gold. More curious is that the Gorillaz would come out with their album, The New, with a track titled Fool's Gold, or The New Gold. I think it's The New Gold. Regardless, there's a theme that maybe some might be picking up on. Something presented as glamorous or royal or beautiful or regal, and it's shite. It's just shite. It's not gold underneath, within, like all the way through. It's a gold coating over shite. And Hollywood admits that. Hollywood promotes that. They're like, don't be golden on the inside. Do so on the outside, and that is all. Don't worry about your insides or being a good person, Don't worry about that. Just go with your feral nature of being a human. Ugh, they're just have some morals and standards. So, one point I want to make about Carl, okay? People were against Carl. And guess who came out, y'all? Let me get to this real quick because Jamila Jamal. Girl, you never cease to amaze. Who knew? We all did. Raise your hand because we all saw Jamila. We all saw you, Jamila. We all knew you were going to say something. Every time. Poor Jamila. To have to be the one that it's like, oh, I have to go be the pompous warrior? Fine. Have you ever heard, what is it called? It's theatrics, basically. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's theatrics, okay? So Jamila Jamal is like, how dare they celebrate such a monster of fat phobia? Jamila Jamal, you're like, what, a size 4? Shut up. Shut up, Jamila. Shut up for once. She's the kind of girl that I could not be friends with. I would be like, you can't save the world, Jamila. You can't. Shut up. I would not be able to handle it. I'd be like, get off your soapbox. Oh, come on now. Good for her, though, right? If you're going to say something, say it with your chest, and she sure does. So there's that. I liked her in The Good Place. I will say that. I just think that she comes off a little pretentious. But that's, my view on it. So, of course, she's like, shame to anyone who went to this da-da-da, right? I'm not even going to get into the amount of things that Jamila herself has attended that could have some controversy, because it's a lot. It's a lot. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is they're all hypocrites, okay? All of them. All hypocrites. Terrible people. Terrible people. You don't get to Hollywood being a good person, okay? Unless you're Robin Williams. Or someone like that. Or, Chris Farley. Someone like that. Then they just take you out too young, which is really sad. So color me shocked, right? That it's Jamila who has something to say. All right, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the Met Gala. They invited me. I didn't go. I skip it every year. They keep trying, though, I'm like, go off. They're like, Daisy, we need you. You're star power. You're just so fancy and amazing. And I'm like, you guys, it's never going to happen. Just can't sell my soul, But I missed it. Yeah, I missed the Met Gala. Didn't care. Missed it last year. Missed it the year before. Missed it every year. Don't care. I don't like the whole fool's gold thing. I don't like that, okay? I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the whole beta kin thing. I don't like any of that. So for those of you who missed it, I am in my comfies today. Normally I will do like an outfit of the day, and especially in the summer, I'm often in like festival clothing or like cosplay outfits. But today is Friday and it's just a lazy day. So I hope you're comfy. Let's go into this whole Crispr and such, okay? Have you guys ever seen, what is it? Sunshine of a Spotless Mind? Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. That's what I'm talking about. That one and 51st Dates. I'm sure plenty of you have seen that. And now it's like horrifying that these things are becoming quite a reality, because in Everlasting Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, they speak about being able to erase some of your memories. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's kind of like 500 Days of Summer, where you're like, this movie is a little bit painful. Like, it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also a really good movie. It's good. And it just shows me how long Jim Carrey has been aware of all this, even before I was aware of, like, everything that was happening, everything that was going on, everything that's, gotten us to this point of where we are today. Jim Carrey has been well aware the whole time, I don't doubt that by any means. And thank you, seriously, so much to those of you joining me. It so means a lot. Okay, so, yeah, go back to my other page. I had some things saved about it that I wanted to discuss specifically. But here's the first thing. Did you know that a lot of football stadiums are set up to look like eyeballs? There's your, fun fact of the day. A lot of football stadiums are said to look like eyeballs. Why would the eyes be looking at the skies? Except for our eyes, right? Our eyes aren't looking at the skies, they're looking at our phones. But why are the football stadiums, why are there giant eyeballs on the earth looking back to the stars? But we don't look to the stars anymore. I just found that curious, right? I know some of you know I am a cloud watcher, right? Love looking at the clouds, love just the whole idea of all of it, of like what are the possibilities, what could be out there. Okay, sorry, I don't know why the molecular one wasn't already. Oh wait, I think I did have it pulled up. It's over here. Okay, so the molecular one, right? Ooh, big word today. The word of the day is molecular. It's about the CRISPR, okay? So as I was saying, the CRISPR deals with our DNA and our RNA. And that's a big deal, okay? Because right now, we are backsliding very quickly straight back into eugenics. And some of you might think, Daisy, oh my goodness, you are reaching, like this is too much. I'm not, I promise you. Like I've been looking into this so much, and we're definitely in an interesting place. And honestly, for the longest time, I felt relieved at the fact that they kept failing these trials. Same with Neuralink. I am relieved when Neuralink fails their trials, because that leaves me knowing it's going to take them longer to finish what they're doing, to make progress. Should I moon them? Should I stand up and moon them out the window? That's a joke, you guys. Calm down. Calm down. Okay? I'm not really gonna do it. 2 people left, like, oh God, no, please. I'm just kidding. Okay, so why is this important? Why does this matter? Okay? Because they're gonna push this and they're gonna say, don't worry, it's for people who've experienced trauma. Don't worry, it's for people who have been through horrific things. It's for people with autism or ADHD. Don't you want those people to get help? Those are faulty wired people. Those people. What does that sound like to you? Okay, La Feebler. Like, we're that close. We're that close. And I've looked into it, like I said, and I've done like a video or 2 about it. But, you know, certain platforms are not a fan of someone pointing out the fact that we're in a dangerous place when it comes to our DNA and such, right? They won't tell you a lick of snap about why there's O negative, RH negative, why it exists, why it shouldn't exist, how it leads to the distinct possibility of hybrid species, but we're not going to talk about that right now because that's a whole nother thing. But they want to talk about switching your DNA. I mean, they do it to us already, don't they? Don't they? But now they're talking about going in and doing it. So what are these molecular scissors? What are they? They're just that. Scissors that are cutting your DNA, these enzymes, okay? They're called molecular scissors, as a cleave DNA or at a specific recognition sequences known as restriction sites. This is important because you might have a family member that has very light autism. You might have a family member like me, for example, that has ADHD. And obviously when I was younger, it was much worse. Now it's chilled out a bit because I finally knew that I had to get myself help and seek tools from my toolbox to manage this, you know? So someone like me could just be taken out, like off the streets, I mean. Like they could come to my house and say, you are a defecto. Come here, chop chop, DNA shop, now go home. And it's like, wait, why? You can't do that. I don't want to do that, right? Like what if I like how my brain is wired different? What if I feel like that's what makes me special? What if I'm happy with where I'm at, I'm coping, I'm living with it, right? That wouldn't matter at some point, right? They're saying this is for good reasons. They're saying it's for good causes. But there are so many reckless things that can happen and have already happened. We talked about that. how one of the scientists already went off and made 2 babies like this with the CRISPR altered DNA. So it's to cut genetic material, like I said, at certain ends. So they're saying, again, it could fix all these things. It could make a difference. It just got the go-ahead. Makes the cut. Let me double check, because there was like a whole nother, there it is. Okay, there's a whole nother part to the article that I wanted to make sure you guys saw. So it was only a matter of time, right? Even though we tried to back away from this, even though we all know that this is probably not the best thing. But once genome editing tools were established, sorry, I'm going to pull you a little bit closer and a little bit further away from the window, so hopefully that helps. Normally I like to warn you if we're going to get a little close. I don't want to scare anybody. Okay. So it's about advancing enterprises such as the development of cell lines. Again, they're going to make it like this wonderful thing. The identification of drug targets. They were bound to have a potential tested in clinical science. Indeed, genome editing-based gene therapies began studied in clinical trials in 2020. So in 2020, they brought back working on these things, okay? Why was it put on pause? Because it's a horrible thing. That's why. So basically, they're saying it's doing a lot better now. They've used it in testing relation therapies for cancer, virus infections, monogenic diseases. It's no bueno. It's no bueno. So there's now a new one called zinc finger nuclease FN. I'm going to have to look into this one because this is a new one to me, but apparently it's a technology that goes along with it. So I knew about the CRISPR and I knew about other ones like that, but I didn't hear about this one. The counts tallied toward the end of 2022 are probably due for an update already, but rather indulge in the exercise. The article will highlight a few representatives of gene editing clinical trials. They demonstrate the range of gene editing technologies, and that's important, right? The range of these technologies, because we're always led to believe that it's not that big of a deal. They can't really do that much, but no, they can. They can and they are. And they're already doing clinical trials on it, meaning it doesn't matter what your moral compass says. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs, what your values say. I mean, should we really be allowing people to play God? I think at some point we have to consider that. So there's an investigational therapy based on the CRISPR genome editing software. It was developed as a result of a partnership between Intellia Therapeutics and Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. That sounds like a freaking, like a villain. Regeneron. Like, does that not sound like a villain? Okay, so it goes on to say that they're doing more tests and they're finding out that the CRISPR is being used in vivo for therapeutic application. Okay. So they're saying basically it's still for mutations, which is like just that. Things like ADHD, minor neural pathology. Yeah, right? Minor neuropathology, things like that. Okay, things that have become available in the recent years. They're silencers that knock down gene expression. Silencers that knock down gene expression. That's pretty crazy. So these have the ability to slow down disease. So you are essentially a transformer at this point, Regeneron, because what it's doing is it's saying, listen, I'm gonna prolong your life. Like, that's what it is too. Not only is this so good for you, not only does everybody win, we're gonna help you live longer. Don't you want to live longer? Your kids need you. Ooh. Imagine the people that are like, I rather not. I rather not. But they're like, yeah, but if you did, not only would you get money, there's some desperate people out there just trying to get by. I could see desperate people being like, well, screw it. I don't care much about myself anyhow, you know? Whew. So there's a guide made in 2001. It's the NTLA 2001. It's based on a guide RNA, which specifically recognizes the, y'all, I can't, transthyretin, that's what it is, gene, and the mRNA molecule that encodes the Crispr. So both are packaged into nanoparticles, oh my gosh, that are entered into your body intravenously. Woo! Okay, so nanoparticles is another big topic of discussion lately. I know many of you are well aware of that. So that just alarms me even more. It's like, listen, I know I must have breathed in a couple of those freaking things, like, pretty sure. So the data is ongoing. The studies are finding that some of the participants are doing just fine. Yeah, they're doing well. A single dose has been administered. The team found a dose-dependent effect is indeed knocking down this protein in the bloodstream, which consistently exceeded 90% knockdown at highest doses. That's what I'm saying. Oh my goodness, you're so right. It is very much, and I keep saying that, Umbrella Corp. What is an Umbrella Corp? It's a corporation, right, that is an umbrella for all these other companies. Who's Umbrella Corp? Let me tell you. Are you ready? I know you don't need me to write it down, but just in case, please let me keep my job. That's who. Is it not? Is it not? What is an umbrella corp? It is a corporation that owns all these other different companies, and it is the main label, right? It is the main owner. Very curious. Oh, and that reminds me of how, Susan Wojcicki and her sister. Do you remember Susan's sister? 23, what is it, 23andMe or 20, whatever, the spitting in a tube one. Ancestry.com. So Susan's over here on YouTube doing her thing. Do. Sister's over here like, give me all your DNA. Do. And then, you know what I mean? Just curious. And now they're like, guess what? Now, so do you think that the push of the DNA was to help with this? They're like, oh crap, our populace is crap. They're looking at their people that are setting in their DNA, their samples, and they're like, these people are broken, they suck. So now they have to fix it, right? Problem, reaction, solution, CRISPR, right? Very curious, Blackstone is very important name to know. If you don't know it already, please get to know it, because train derailleurs, all kinds of connections there, that's for sure. So basically it's saying this is becoming more relevant now than ever. Why aren't they talking about making fatal hemoglobin in a sickle cell disease? Drug discovery is the ultimate team sport. In a sense that it isn't any single thing that has to go right, but thousands of different things need to be done carefully, meticulously, to bring this accurate answer to these patients. So they're saying essentially, it's a shot in the dark and we're hoping. So what I found out recently is they're actually using this. Okay, this is an important part for those of you who stayed. Good on you, because we're learning today, right? We're learning today. But they're using this in genetic fish, essentially. They're crossing fish. It was a catfish and an alligator. They used something from a catfish to cross it with an alligator with the CRISPRs. Why? Why? So when I say they're playing God, I'm not saying it because, oh, they want to change me because I have the ADHDs and they think they can just rewire me brain. No. They're literally mixing up these animals now. They're like, hey, guess what? We destroyed your food. We destroyed the environment. Now we have to have all this crap fake food. This food, it ain't real meat. It ain't real meat. I'll tell you what, I'm not trying that fish. I'm not trying that fish. They said that even the fish were having issues. They're doing it so that they can genetically mutate and grow all of these weird creatures. They're like, listen, there's hardly no food, but we have bugs. We have these genetically mutating fish. By the way, they did go on market and they did go for sale, and people bought them. People have tried this genetically mutated fish. Why are they doing this to our food? Why? I don't understand. Okay, this part's important because it goes on to say, for those who have the opposite effect, it's no bueno. They see blood vessel obstruction and tissue damage. They experience intense pain. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anemia. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is another part, premature okay. Right? Here's my problem. What if I'm fine, right? What if I'm fine being me, my chaotic ADHD loving self, okay? And I go in and I'm like, can you fix this? And they say, sure. But then they don't fix it. The ADHD is still there. Brain is still wired different. But I come out with intense pain, organ damage, organ failure, inflammation. Oh, there's so much. There's so much. I'm not even going to get into it all right now. People needed oxygen. There's so much more that can go wrong than can be a positive outcome for this. And that has to be considered. Major considerations in these choices, especially for sickle cell disease, as one of the areas for focus of the CRISPR collaboration, included the great unmet need around this medical condition. Oh, terrible. So it goes on to say it's all about the severity of the disease. A large number of individuals are affected worldwide by these problems. And you don't want that. You don't want people affected by these problems. Why wouldn't you want them to get help with the CRISPR? You know? It's been developed for over 10 years in the lab. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Oh my gosh. So it says they've had to file for so much approval. And we all know that how that goes, right? Some of it just gets pushed through, and there's no denying that. They get really busy. So any gene editing therapy opens two types of safety considerations. Just two? Just two? Okay. So that in consideration of the potential off-target effects. The first consideration is that it involves the possibility of affecting a cell type other than the cell intended. Ding, ding, ding. Tell her what she's won. Because, duh. Like, yeah. Of course. The second involves inadvertently editing genomic locations that are different from the genomic locations. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? What you mean by that? They're basically saying, let us dive deep into your enzymes and do not complain. For we are doing you a favor. And if it goes wrong, that is on you for choosing what you chose. Why would you choose to do this? You knew it was a clinical trial. Oof. And that's what it is. That's really sad. That's really sad. Okay, let's look at the clinical trials real quick. It seems to say, of 8 of the ongoing clinical trials, which TALEN technology is used, the CAR T cell products we are fully owned for, says Philip Dutchtu, Chief Scientific Office. Oh boy, he adds that he's partners with Allogene Therapeutics. Oh, I haven't heard of that one either. I'm going to have to look further into that because I know certain people own them. Where's Elon? Elon, what part do you own? Where's Elon Musk? Elon! Elon! What kind of technology do you own when it comes to the CRISPR? Elon. I'll text him. I'll text him on Twitter. Don't worry, guys. I'll text him. Elon. You know he do, though. You know he do. Just saying. He's got something on everything else. Like, would you really doubt it? Okay, so it goes on to talk about honing in on cancer. That's it. If it doesn't get you, right, that you could help your disabled family member, right? They'll get you with the cancer. They'll get you with that, right? Nobody wants to lose their loved one. Nobody. And so many people are willing to lose every single cent to furthering their loved one's life. That ambulance is perfectly timed, but it also makes me worried. Because normally we have a lot of accidents on this corner, so I hope everybody's okay. Okay, so it goes on to say that there's a lot going on with this, that there's a lot of problems with this still, that this is one of the best ones, these are the best trials, that they're getting close to curing the cancers, you guys. Really? Really? Are they gonna cure cancer? Are they? I mean, please do. But here's my thing. I'm under the mindset that they probably already have a cure, okay? That's where I'm at. There's probably likely already a cure. They just don't want us to know that, right? So what do you guys think about all this? What do you guys think about that? Do you think that we should have the ability to have that effect? Do you think that we should mess around with those kind of things? I think for someone like me, it makes me feel like I should, like, there's a stigma against these certain things for a reason. Like, I guess they want us to feel like we're different or bad. And again, how does this not sound like a certain place at a certain time, you know? You know, like the La Feebler and the certain party that everybody wants to call people fascist or whatever, but it's like, we're seeing that now more than ever, like, for real though. Like, for real though. Why can't we just, I hate that we can't say these things. But, you know what I'm trying to say? We're seeing a lot of that, right? And now all of a sudden freaking eugenics is cool again? No, it was never cool. It will never be cool. It's highly offensive. If you haven't seen the videos I've done, and I know some of you haven't, but I have done videos on the CRISPR fully explaining in layman's what it means, what it does, what it's for, as well as what it does to your RNA and DNA and what that difference means for you, for someone else, how it all comes together, okay? It is important. It is a big deal. So if you're interested in these things, please, please, please do go back. Please look at those things. Educate yourself, because knowledge is power, and it is the best weapon we got. You know, it is the best tool we got to defend ourselves. And I just think it's very, very important and significant. And if we don't, like, some of the propaganda back in the day would say how certain people in the population would slow others down. And for those who didn't know, obviously I work with those with special needs and things like that, or who may be considered disabled. I say that they have superpowers, but many of you know I work with them. I teach the art. I say them because I always have a certain student in mind. But yes, I work with those with special needs, all ages, all people. And when I think about that kind of stuff, it feels like so much more hurtful, so much more offensive than this stupid Karl Lagerfeld thing and this stupid Met Gala. All of that is pish posh hogwash, waste of time, like fluff, celebrity fluff, to like ease your mind for a moment. Because when you do start to think about all this stuff and the really real stuff, it blows your mind. It really does. It really does. So I am curious, what do you guys think? Do you think that we should have this ability? Do you think that and honestly, just so you know, this is not an echo chamber. You are allowed to have your own point of view. You are allowed to disagree. As long as you can communicate your point kindly without being, you know, sarcastic or rude or whatever else, that's fine. It's cool beans. Do your thing. You're allowed to have your own views, your difference of opinion. I love that. It's encouraged, okay? I'm not saying you have to view this the way I do, or you better boot, scoot, boogie. Like, no, would never. But in my personal opinion, ew, ew, it feels icky, icky. I don't like it, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I feel like it's a slippery slope. There's just no way to say this is safe enough. This is appropriate enough because every 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 time this is done, it's a risk. Every time this is done, it gets worse. And 2 children were born with genetically altered DNA due to this CRISPR and things like this. And the man was arrested and put in jail for it for a few years. And now here's the messed up part. They're doing the same dang thing this dude did. But now it's okay. There's the only difference. There's the only difference. This man did it a few years before people in the U.S. decided they had the cojones to do it too. And now it's not a problem no more? Well, it should be, right? Because when you're trying to say you want a designer baby and a baby has to look a certain way, that's kind of a problem. Like, that's kind of terrible. It shows that some people have a distinct interest in what they would like their child to come out. What, blonde and blue-eyed? I don't know what else. Like, what? It's craziness to me to see everything else as some sort of mutation, and that's the problem because anything could be a anything can be a mutation at that point, okay? Green eyes, mutation. There's only X amount of the population that has it. Get rid of them. Ah, there I go. Boop, I'm out. It's like playing that game. Who's who or whatever, right? The one where you're like putting down all the little things. That's me. Like, you would put me down. And if I had, go for the ones with ADHD, boop, put me down again, right? It ain't never going to be me staying back up. They'll be like, this one. There's a few reasons. Just grab her. She has mutations, right? And anybody with a little bit of quirkiness, anybody with a little bit of, intuition or spirituality, you're done, son. You're done, son. You're done, son. Done. That would be that. And we see this had occurred when? With the witch trials, because a lot of the women that were accused of being a witch were just quirky women with long hair and some kitty cats. Now, if that's the standard, we can only imagine what it must be like to be medically forced. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Into getting this type of thing. Oof. I know it's a lot. I know it's a doozy. I appreciate all of you who stick it out with me. I appreciate your willingness to educate yourselves. I really, really do, because that helps the world go around in a better way, in a smarter way, in a wiser way. And I do believe that we have the ability to make a difference. I do believe that we have time to make a difference. I do believe that good will always prevail. So even though we have to put up with all this chaos, you can still live a good, happy life. You don't have to live in fear, things like that. Don't do it, okay? Like, yeah, there's a lot of crazy going on, but that doesn't mean we have to go around going, the sky is falling. Everybody come around, the sky is falling. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to get going in just a few, because y'all know, for those of you who know, the king will pop right in that door any moment, and I want to beat him to it. I want to beat him to the door this time. I bombed myself. But, yeah, he's my heart and soul. My pride and joy. My sweet little baby. Now that's going to be stuck in my head. That is a really good song, though. So, yeah, let me know. What do you guys think about all this? Have you kept up on that news? Does it interest you? Are you curious about it? What about the Met Gala? I think that it is such a cringy thing. I think that we common folk could put on a more exclusive, better event than that ordeal, because, ew, that's weird. By the way, if you didn't know, you can check me out on Twitter, on TikTok, on Snap at modmaggieart. I'm on Twitch, DameVonBonDaisy Plays. Facebook and Insta is where you can check out more paintings and shirts for sale. No pressure. Once more, window shop all you may. This one looks really cool. It's the squid one. He's a robot. But yeah, I've got about 6 really good designs in the shirt so far. 3 really amazing pairs of jeans 80s Wranglers, vintage, the real deal. They're also men's, and they're like size, I gotta look. Size, I have no idea. Probably 30. But yeah, there's that. So again, whether you're male, female, I don't give a crap. If you want to buy it, buy it. That's cool, right? Like, I don't care. Do you, boo boo? So people are like, what size is it? That's what size, technically. Large male shirts and probably 30 men's jeans. But again, I don't care who buys it. Whomever, do your thing, boo boo. And I will have, like I said, about 6 of the pairs of jeans, different designs, super cool. About 20 of the tanks, because those are just amazing, and I'm a little obsessed with this right now. And there'll be more. Let me show you my mushroom one more time. That sounds bad. Before I go. But this is a hat I'm making for the fest. For those of you who didn't get to see it, there you go. It's super awesome. It's just so people can find me. If you guys didn't know, yeah, I'm an artist. I sell artwork. I do paintings. We do tie-dyes. My mother helps with the tie-dyes. That's why I say we, because she's such a saint and such a beautiful woman. And I don't have like a merch, right? This is our merch. I mean, I didn't want to do like plain old merch because I wanted it to be from our heart and something that we made ourselves for you that shows our love. And I just feel like I can't say thank you enough. So I want to do more, so I'm always trying to find ways to do more. And with that, you got the shirts, we got the paintings, we got all kinds of goodies. And don't forget, check out the memberships. And if there is anything else that you guys want to hear me babble about or ramble about, let me know, because I always am curious to see what you want to see my point of view on. Hi, thank you for joining me. I was just getting ready to let you guys go. I'm so glad that you made it home. I love having you guys here. A big, warm hug from me to you. Always, please do stay awake, stay aware, stay well. Thank you for coming to your very own deprogramming session. Oh, we didn't get to the whole Jamie Foxx thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. See? And now, because we're talking about it, the Crispr thing, the first thing to come up is Crispr adverse effects, y'all. Oh my goodness. So anyways, first of all, real quick, before I let you go, Jamie Foxx is, he's paranoid. He was in the hospital. He says people's out to get him. People are like, Jamie Foxx, you're in big trouble, because he was supposed to be coming back out on the scene or whatever, have a big movie, do a big thing, whatever. He must have said the wrong thing or ticked off the wrong person, because you're getting a little sus, a little paranoid there, Jamie. I don't know what's going on. Did he get replaced? Did he get sent to the reprogramming center? We don't know. But will we find out? Probably. Other than that, what was the other one? Oh, The Rock. The Rock is accusations against him at this moment that I could not believe. When I saw it, I was shooketh. I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening? What is happening? Right? Like, I thought I was gonna, I don't know. So apparently The Rock is having accusations of possible wanting to swipe someone's mini. Like, what is going on with the world, right? What is happening? What is happening? I don't know, guys. But what I do know is I appreciate you all so much. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. If you don't mind, there's plenty of room. This home is big enough for all of us. I promise not to yell at you like I did the people mowing. I would never do that. But I do so much adore you. Thank you again, Frank. And any other channel that just shouts me out and has been helping. I don't know how, I wish there were more ways that I could show you how grateful I am, and I know that I will find more ways to show you. But do stay awake, stay aware. Tell your loved ones you love them. You don't need an excuse. Check out my memberships. The link is always down below for $2 holla. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being so good, not only to me, but to yourselves. That really means a lot to me. And I was saying one kind thing about myself at the start of streams, but I'll do it at the end this time. One kind thing about myself is I am very creative in many ways, and I appreciate that about myself. That's a good one. If you want to join in, you can do so in the comments down below. And I win this round. Okay, bye.